All right, West Coast, welcome back. That was Sean Ashby with Leone Western.
Yeah.
Is that right? And Sean's playing tonight in Ucluelet at Wild Heather Books for a second time. Been back. We were just saying last time it was a hoot.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was full. It was great. Yeah, I loved it.
All right. I'm going to kind of open with kind of an interesting question that we didn't talk about before. You played with Sarah McLachlan for a long time. Still do, I assume? Or
hard to say. I don't know, actually. Maybe not. I did about 12 years, and I put out a record of my own in 08, and I did about 220 shows, and it's been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And now I put out another record.
Yeah.
I didn't take any time really off except for to make a record. Now I'm back on the road again. And I may have done my time as a sideman, and I may be now
moving on to something
Sean,
else.
Yeah,
cool.
Sean Ashby. Yeah,
because Sarah's got a place out here in Tofino.
That's
actually.
right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
I thought that maybe you guys were going to sit down and have some tea or something.
I should knock on her door. Hey.
All right, so let's start with for those of the listeners that might not be familiar with you. Let's do a little bit of backstory. The email that I was sent by your management is pretty complimentary. A big career, lots of great, cool shows, Grammys, just about every late night talk show, television show, and
Yeah.
So then this is like session work as a sideman thing.
Yeah, I was a sideman for most of my 20s and all that, and I did stuff with I did a track with Dee from Run DMC.
Yeah, I heard that. That's awesome.
I did Blackbird by the Beatles with Sarah,
Yep.
which
The version that was on the I Am Sam.
Yeah, and it gets played a lot.
Yeah.
And then I did stuff like session work for Swollen members, and I played guitar for a band called Ginger, which was the three guys from the Grapes of Wrath started another band, and I played on 3 albums and tours with them. I did the Wild Strawberries. I did Holly McNarland tours. I did a lot of recording and stuff. And I lived in Vancouver for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I played with Delirium, and they're kind of like Massive Attack or something.
Yeah.
I did a tour with them in 08 that took us to Moscow.
Cool.
And I still play with them because they don't play that much. And I can portion off 3 weeks once in a while to go to Moscow.
Yeah,
I think I can find time.
Wow, that's very cool. But now, like we just said, that might be sort of maybe not entirely behind you, but this is a new adventure that you're on, that you're 2 albums into, and seems to be going pretty well. And I just got to say, I've got the album 24 Hours of Daylight in my hand, and I just love the style of it. It's got that early 60s, the first couple of Beatles album style vinyl
artwork,
record cover artwork, and the photo looks like it's in sort of a pawn shop, junk store, workshop kind of space. And I guess that's, I don't know, looking at the back of your van seems kind of appropriate for what's going on. What do you write the material on all this solo stuff?
Yeah, I had a band in Jack Tripper too while I was being a sideman. It was called Jack Tripper for years, and we won a couple of Georgia Strait Awards for Best Band and Best Album, and then we were nominated in the Western Canadian Music Awards for Best Rock Record alongside Nickelback. I couldn't believe they beat us. Sarcasm.
We actually have a no Nickelback policy here on Long Beach Radio. We can talk about them, but I'm not going to play.
To me, it would just sound like sour grapes. I can't say anything. And good for them, good on them to be so successful. But that band, I wrote the songs and was the singer in, and we toured a bit. But then I decided to really kind of go for it on my own. So I called it my name. I moved to Toronto. I got a little bit of a record deal and some people, and now my management actually has been picked up by a bigger company like this week.
Yeah.
So I might start getting. I was already going to the States on this album.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that by next year I'll have better and better gigs and more gigs and stuff. And but I really couldn't have any more gigs. I did 220 on the first album. I came out west 5 times and out east 4 times. This year I'm going to the States.
Yeah.
And who knows where. And it was like Eric Clapton was a journeyman there for a while, and Jeff Beck and those guys, and even Jimmy Page, they seem to get out of it a little sooner. Yeah. But I wasn't really ready, like now I really feel like I can do this, so I'm out doing it now.
Cool.
And,
I guess, the difference in roles, this is a lot more exposed, I think, what you're doing now, a lot more emotional. It's it's all on you, when you're playing with Sarah McLachlan, lots of people don't probably really go to see that sideman's pretty good.
It's funny though, like when I was doing that, all those little guitar parts and stuff I were playing were a universe to me.
Yeah.
Like if you buy any of her records or anything I played on, believe me, I was 100% there. It's like everything to me. Then you take on more, and then more becomes everything to you.
Yeah.
It's like a painter that just starts in black and white drawings and then they move to color or something like that. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but anyway, you know, it was just as important to me then as this is to me now. Although this may look smarter because it's about me. Finally.
Well, I guess you can chat a little bit more in a minute or two. But you got your Weisenborn in your hand, and I know that's it's a pretty cool instrument.
Yeah.
And you were you had some misgivings about playing it for us here today. You seemed to think.
Well, I've been playing a lap steel guitar, which is a sort of what country musicians used to use, like Hank Williams Sr. records have lap steel on them. I've been playing that for 23 years, actually, and I bought it in a pawn shop in Sarnia, Ontario for $80. It looks like a pool cue. Everybody used to tell me, hey, are you carrying a pool cue? Because it comes in this little case.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it looks like a pool cue case. And but I was in on country bands, right? And we would do really good music, and so I would be playing like a electric guitar, and I thought, well, I'll double on a bit of steel and kind of do a pseudo pedal steel impression on it, and then when I started touring on my own as a solo artist, people really started keying in on the lap steel. So the new record has like a lot of lap steel, like solos and more. There's a tune on there called "Barbed Wire Valentine" that's like a real flashy wind out. Everybody always used to ask me to play this song by a guy named David Lindley called Mercury Blues, and it's a 70s tune where the guy plays lap steel and goes like banana wee wee crazy on the guitar, right? And so I better make my own up instead of keep playing somebody else's tune. So, and then there's like a bluesy one that's all on lap steel, and then there's like there's lap steel solos and a few other tunes. And the first record I made had less actual guitar solos. It was more like sound. And I found like when I worked for all these bands as a recording guitarist and everything, they more wanted a wall of sound like the Edge would make than like guitar solo stuff like Stevie Ray Vaughan would do or something like that, you know. So, but when I started touring on my own, I would do some of that stuff, and people said, "Oh no, do more of that. We want to hear that." You know, so I tried to marry the two more on this new record. You know,
cool.
Yeah.
And so lap steel has turned to Weisenborn. Just it works better.
It seems like a natural step, and also I'm playing lots of coffee houses, and it's an acoustic instrument, and but I'm just sort of wrapping my head around it. You know, it's a new thing for me. You know.
Cool. Well, if you play us a tune, I would be much obliged.
Yeah. So. Thanks. Has anybody ever been down to this radio station? It's
on
the wharf. It's we're looking out at the ocean here, right here. It's amazing.
This is pretty much the most amazing radio station on the planet, I think.